Press the button.
Do it.
Go for it.
Press the button.
I have pressed the button. and hopefully the good burgers of Twitch can see us and hear us, and most importantly, engage with our content, he says, remembering that he should bring the chat dock out so he can see the engagement with the content. He's a professional streamer. He does a great job. But
It shows.
there we are. That's fair. The chat dock is up so I can chat to you. Anyway, hello, welcome to the Nature's Wrath 2 list review. I'm your host, Sam. He of the bad audio, hopefully you can hear me. And I have with me today James. Saint James.
The angelic.
Yeah, with the halo, the beam of light shining down upon him. And Brady, who is obviously going to hell. He's bringing the Baphomet energy to the group. How you feeling, Brady? How's the anxiety?
It's quite high at the moment. I'm glad we're doing this tonight, not tomorrow. Like I said.
we were going to be doing this tomorrow night.
Tomorrow, actually. But
what's that?
I said I might have been more entertaining tomorrow.
It's possibly,
as James suggested.
We were planning this out earlier on the week. We were going to be doing it tomorrow night until Brady said that there was a big event happening in his home country tomorrow, and he might not be in a fit state to be doing a list review by this time tomorrow night. So wisely, we brought it forward today.
I
was game. I thought drunk list reviews would have been great.
George has beamed in before, hasn't he? He beamed in once famously from K Road. I think I'm completely unsolicited.
Yeah.
We genuinely had to edit some of that video because of the comments that were made. I just have to avoid cancellation here. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Sorry about late. It's just the standard though. So Nature's Wrath 2 is going to be a great event. It's going to be the second to last event of the year. Is that right, guys?
That sounds
You
right.
tell me.
I think so.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. One of the last.
One of the last. I think it must be the second to last event of the year. The last
One
one
of the
series.
funnest, I would say.
The most fun. So it's nice to sort of,
Yeah, I think it's the second last for points. I think there is another one up in Auckland, maybe. Yeah, I can't remember. Sorry.
And finals too, must be said.
Well, yeah, of course.
So anyway, but the edition's coming to an end, so we're sending it out with a really serious, intense event designed to really sort of stress test and give you a last hurrah of the rules you know and love so well. So, yeah, should we just get stuck in? Should we start talking about the event?
Yeah,
let's do it.
Cool, alrighty. Nature's Wrath. So, it is a 400-point event. It's only one day. You get 4 games over the course of the day, held in sunny Wellington this weekend, this Saturday. The theme of it is the crazy special rules. Is that fair to say, guys? It's Nature's Wrath, after all.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the clue's in the name.
The clue's in the name. Do you guys want to
Nature will be present and it's not happy with you.
Nature will be present. No, it's a fun event. I was kidding. I was joking. I'm sorry. I can't believe you took something I said seriously, and you look at these rules and you're still saying, maybe it's a serious event.
I take you seriously, but not literally, Sam. So.
Thank you. Do you guys, Brady, James, what do you want to take us through the special rules, these two sort of types of special rules we're going to face?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I would say the description would be that the idea, the genesis of the idea is that we wanted an event where the board wasn't just something pretty to look at, but was actually something that you had to interact with. And so at times your plans will not just be frustrated by your opponent, but by the board and it's the angry, restless natives as well, potentially. So.
Frustrated being the key word there, I think, if my experience of last year's anything to go by. There were a number. I killed a lot of wild men of Dunland, and you better believe they kept on coming back.
Yeah.
So we've spent a lot of time playtesting since last time. Like, definitely we took on a lot of feedback and kind of made a few tweaks, especially to these kind of 2 main rules. So the storms, what we found last time was really interesting. They moved around the board, they kind of freaked people out, people stayed out of their way, but they didn't do too much damage. And we can't really have that. So we've adapted it slightly. So when you're rolling to determine the direction it goes in, you're rolling 2 d12s, which we will provide, and you will pick the direction that brings it closest to a player's model, just to make it a little bit more relevant. And we've play tested, it's not horrendously overpowered, but it definitely makes you think twice about how close to these storms you're getting. It just makes them a little bit more of a threat, a little bit more fun, not something to be ignored. So that was definitely a change that we made. And then the other one is to the neutral forces. So anyone who was there last time, they were popping on the edge of the board, and a lot of the time they were kind of pinning people down on the edges, and you spent more time kind of fighting the neutral forces than you did the other player. So now they deploy on the board itself, all of them at the very start, and there's a chance that they come back. So on a 1, 2, 3, they come back. On a 4+, they're permanently removed from the board. So take the example of the one with the Dunlendings that we'll look at later on. They're all on the board right there, ready for you to go tackle if you want to. And if you kill them, there's a 50-50 chance they don't come back. But there's also a 50-50 chance they do come back. So, there's less of them over time as your numbers are being whittled down in your own army. The neutral forces are also being whittled down versus the kind of escalation type rule we had last time, which got a little bit out of hand. So I think people will find that a welcome change to the neutral forces rules.
Can I just say, despite your framing it as improvements on last time, I think the last version of this was one of my favourite events ever, and I had a blast. And I was so impressed at how I've been to other events with sort of special rules and house rules and made up sort of extra things. I think these were far away the best ones because they were so well sort of thought out and well tested, and they had an impact on the game without making it the entire game about them. And the ones I played at least anyway, I think possibly the one with the two bridges, maybe not
the factor in the game.
Yeah. They was, and I was so
playtest all of them multiple times with. I tried high points armies, low points armies, cav armies, just to see. And we thought about how would these impact them because it's supposed to be a fun event. We don't want someone to come and have a bad time. Now, if you've written a bad listing of bad times, that's on you.
But you deserve it. You deserve to have a bad time. It's a real labour of love, and I'm so grateful to you guys for the effort you put into it, and it's going to be really, really cool fun.
Hopefully.
And that's the review. No, so we'll start off with the boards themselves. We thought we'd start off talking about the boards, and then we look at the lists, knowing what they're going to be possibly coming up against. So
okay, I've got the list in front of me. Do you have the boards in front of you, James? I don't have those.
I do, yeah.
You got it. Okay, cool.
So
you just have to do it off memory.
Yeah, please do.
The link's in that chat, Brady, if you want to fuss at them out.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
Further up, but James sent it through. Maybe I'll start with this first one then, and James, you can do the next one while Brady gets himself sorted out. So the first one we're going to see is the Ice Bay of Foreshell. Heirlooms is going to be the scenario here. So this is cool. I think this is one of the ones that's quite similar to one last year. So we've got a storm in the middle. The storm starts in the middle of the board, and it hurtles around and whacks people, or slash, blows people away, / does damage to people. How big are the storms actually, James? Off the top of your head, I don't know.
60 mil base.
60 mil base. Cool.
60 mil round. Yeah.
Cool. There's neutral force is Forodwaith. So there's 24 of them at the start. Is that right?
There was. We have reduced that down to 16 this time. No.
4 into each of the 6.
24. Never mind, they're all there.
Huge. No, I love it. That's great.
Well, that's because of the scenario, right? Because there's 6. Is that the one? There's 6 objectives.
Yeah, so 4 in each one, pretty spread out. Exactly.
Because this is heirloom, so you're pillaging their area, and they get kind of mad if you try to ransack their house to look for some heirloom of yours.
Understandable.
And then if you find the heirloom, they will come and get it from you. Well, try to.
Oh, I see. Because they end up moving towards the neutral market with the relic. Oh, that's cool. That's quite cool. So they start chasing her up.
Well,
that's fun.
You come into their area and you've stolen some of their shit, and they are not happy about that.
They want it back.
Justifiably,
yeah. Right. I mean, you could blame them. And the third rule, which I definitely remember from last year, icy winds. So -1 to shooting for everyone. Basically, whether you move and shoot or not, you're getting -1 all the time. So move and shoot. And flyers only move 6 inches rather than their full 12. So I think I remember this being a really cool one last year. I think that I remember when I played it last year, there were the neutrals were really tough to deal with and really good fun to deal with. The icy winds itself was a really cool rule. I remember the storm hanging out in the corner, kind of bouncing around, doing not much. But the changes to the storm mean that this is going to go from great fun to crazy fun. I'm really looking forward to how it plays.
It just spins around in the middle, flinging you and the neutral forces out of the way, and there's just this great moment. There is a way in heirlooms where you kind of uncover the relic and you're like, okay, shit, that's where it is. We all need to go after it.
Yeah.
But it's not just your opponent that does that; it's all the neutral forces. So whoever's still on the board that you haven't cleared out, they are coming for you.
Very cool. and the storm is probably going to follow them as well because of the way the rules end up changing with that. There'll be a hurricane in the wake.
Yeah. And wonderful situation where if you don't have the time or the models to track down your opponent, don't worry. Somebody's there to deploy you. You can just swoop in and take that prize.
I seem to remember, at least in one of the playtest games that happened, that I couldn't kill anything and the neutrals were just doing my work for me. It was very helpful for my 12 dice. It's like, glad someone can hurt James here. So
Chat, a Forodwaith is a northern kind of, fell human kind of creature, but it'll be a Dunlending warrior, effectively, is what you got to think. Deal with Forodwaith.
Yeah, well, that's what we're using it for. Yeah.
Cool. So those strength 4 Dunlendings coming out to the big chopper. Right. Next one, James, do you want to take us through Dol Guldur?
Yeah, so in this one, the scenario is Fog of War, and that is largely because one of the rules is thick fog, so visibility is just down at 12 inch, but shooting attacks are getting a +1 to wound. If you happen to bring a spirit model, and there are a few in the lists, you ignore that, so you can see normally, but you do not get the bonus of, people do not get the bonus of +1 to wound against them, because they can see the things coming and jump out the way. And then the neutral force on this one, a little bit beefier, is Mirkwood Spiders. So we have one Mirkwood Spider in the 4 ruins that are dotted around the board. And in addition to the normal rules, they will always attempt to shoot their webs when they're charging in, so you get some fun kind of paralyzers off. Additionally, because there is a nominated hero in Fog of War that you're trying to kill and that you're trying to protect, if the spider is the one that does the killing, you do not score the victory points for that. That was not your kill. So it's you versus the spiders getting quick.
That's cool. That's cool. And I mean, at 400 points, 4 Mirkwood Spiders can do, they can mess with you. They can really take a chunk out of you. Yeah.
And if you're as good at rolling ones as we are, they keep on coming back.
Yeah, especially with the moving fast as well. So coming on the board edge is not a big deal for things moving that quick. Can I say I really, really enjoy the thick fog variant on the darkness as well. I think with switching it to spirit rather than code, I think that's really cool. That's a nifty little play there.
Very fun board.
Very, very cool board. And of course, there'll be the terrain on each of these boards reflects what's happening here. So I'm not sure what the Forodwaith one's about. Is that kind of fallen city kind of ruins one? Is that right?
It's like a snowy board. So it's kind of a snowy board, and the snowstorm itself looks kind of snowy. So it's like an icy kind of board. And
this will be the 4 sort of big Dol Guldur style ruins, will it? Dotted around the board.
No, it's something we've gone old school Dol Guldur from the old source book. Just a bit of a callback to an edition before this edition. So, we've got a room, we've got some nice kind of rocky outcrops, and then, just some nasty spiders popping in from the edges.
Cool. Handsome. And it's Fog of War, of course, which as all our regular viewers know, my favourite scenario. Can the siege weapon only shoot things within 12 inches? Well, I don't think it's a spirit, is it? I don't know. What do you think, guys? Can siege weapon shoot past this rule or not?
It's a man that's looking, and they can only see man distance.
Sorry to our resident dwarf ballista fiend. That's a big old bad luck for you. So you gotta start bringing that thing. It'll ruin you.
Yeah.
Here we go. Ruins of Karna.
You should have known that I was not going to. The siege is not my favorite. So,
but your favorite is
write rules that would unfairly advantage you. Basically, I mean, if we were using siege and we said no, the siege could shoot further, then that would be an advantage to using siege weapons. And I don't think I should put my thumb on the scale and make it disfavorable to some extent, but I also sure as hell am not going to write rules such that they are encouraged. So.
But public want to know, if a spirit cruiser, I think it can shoot though, can't it, to do some spotting?
I'll think it.
The spirit, it will hit on a 6+ if the spirit cruiser, because I don't think there are any natural spirit, siege crew.
Yeah.
Anyway, to be fair, I don't think our siege player has any spirits, so.
I would imagine not. I'm hesitant to say yes. I want to think through the implications of that before I make anything binding.
There's no crossover with Siege and Spirits, so it's just a troll.
I wouldn't think so, but who knows? So
right, Brady, tell us. This is your time to shine. Tell us about the next one, the Ruins of Karna. Do you have your list in front of you?
I haven't gotten up yet. Sorry.
Okay, that's right. Well,
I've got the lists up, but not the boards.
Do you want to send the link, James, and I will go through the Ruins of Karna because.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Because this is the Brady special right here. You'll see why. So there was a sandstorm. Storm in the middle. Sandstorm. Classic storm goes around, wakes into people, blows them away, hits them, knocks them over. Mm-hmm. There are 3 Watches of Karna on each of the 4 objectives. So they are 2 attack, fight 4 Watches of Karna. This is probably less than half of your Watches of Karna collection, Brady. I think you've got 26. Is that right?
Yeah, but I think there's 16 on the board. I think, or is there
only 12? Three times the 4 objectives.
Well, I reined him in, you'll be pleased to know.
That is his function in this partnership. I have
Yeah.
some
Some
crazy
voice
ideas,
of reason.
and he needs to talk me down.
I bargained him down from 24, I believe. So you're welcome.
Watches are a lot better than the landing, so I can see why 3 feels like enough for an objective, I think. And Shifting Sands, which is a toxic little roll. Any model wearing heavy dwarf or heavy dwarf armor reduces its movement by 1 inch on for the duration of the game. So, for those of us who brought dwarfs and my siege weapon friend, it's going to be a slow old game with your 4-inch movement. Oh god.
Try getting away from that storm now.
Yeah, no, genuinely, what's the storm going to move? An average of like a bit over like 3.5, 4 inches a turn. You literally can't get away from the storm.
Yeah.
I vaguely
Like
remember
that, yeah.
having dwarves in one of our storm playtests and having to do a heroic march to get the hell away from the
100%.
Yeah, yeah,
It's hateful.
absolutely.
So much fun. This was great.
Another thing we didn't mention around the neutral forces, which I think is really important to kind of add in here. So before we had it, where the neutral forces would always move first. So you were having to kind of burn might and call heroic moves if you wanted to get out of their way.
Right.
We've changed that where they always move second. So they'll always move after the player with priority. So if you don't have priority, you can do a move to get away from them.
I like that.
If you do have priority, you don't need to call a move. It's fine. So
really
it's
cool.
not penalizing
We don't want
everybody.
to pin you because, like last, I was a little unhappy that it could pin you to the side of the board sometimes. That
Yes, that was my experience. That was tough. Yeah.
So this week, I think, fixes that problem so that you still have,
That's
even
so
if you
smart.
don't have priority, the opportunity to get away from them. But you may need to call a move to do it. So, but at least you have a chance to do it.
Can I say, chat
great.
is
They
going
are a simply
crazy for this
player
idea.
too.
Chat thinks this is a fantastic idea, and so do I. I've been thinking before or after. It didn't occur to me to say in the middle. That's
Yeah. They are player too.
This is what I mean. You see what I mean when I said these guys really thought this through, and these rules are like phenomenal, considering they're just made up by 2 complete maniacs. Like this is exactly what I mean. They're just it's pristinely well thought through. So much playtesting. You're a credit to the fake rules business. And the final question we have from chat is: if you're mounted and wearing heavy armor, you're gonna be slowed down.
Yep.
Yep.
Heavy armor on any part of the model.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, that
If you
sounds
get a
fair
20
enough.
horse mount.
Exactly right.
I mean, last year did we keep the rule without? I mean, it was worse on horses last year. I think we have taken out a
-2
few
or
of
something
the
on horses.
extraneous rules that maybe we forgot or things like that. Just didn't work as well. Yeah. So I think last year we had a penalty where if you moved more than half with your horse or something like that.
Yes. I lost a
Yeah.
horse
So
that
we
way.
removed.
Yep.
I mean, just to simplify things a little bit. I mean, so
Chance of falling off the
yeah.
horse
So
if you
if
move
you
too
got a guy
fast.
on
Yeah,
the
I think
discussed penalty. That's not
Eladan
as bad
and
as before.
Elric fell off a horse first turn in my game. It was heartbreaking. But yes, 4-inch dwarfs is what I'm looking forward to this time. I never been dwarfs. I don't know why. Anyway, we're here now. You got it, Brady? Have you got it opened up?
So yeah, Plateau of Gorgoroth
Yeah,
is
take
what we're up to next, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So, sorry, someone is. What is that annoying noise here? Anyways, yeah, we've got the Eye of Sauron. So after the move phase, after heroic actions have taken place, the player with priority is going to choose imposing model and roll a d6. So this is one I think we had from last year, but did we change it? I don't think we changed this at all, right? Did this one get a change? That this is the Darker's Gaze. Any model within, so when they are d6 on a 4-up, any model within 3 inches of that has to pass a courage test or move their full distance, ignoring enemy control zones towards the board edges to escape the Eye of Sauron that's looking down on them. Now, this is, as I say, it's only on a 4-up, so on a 1 to 3, the gaze has been drawn elsewhere. And then instead, the other player will choose an opposing model within 6 inches of the original target to suffer the effects as described above. And then if there are no targets available, then we just assume he's looked somewhere else. Ring Wraiths will ignore this. I think there were a couple of Ring Wraiths, if I remember correctly, in the list.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
at least one or two.
A
Yeah.
couple, I think.
Yeah. And so that one sounds a bit complicated, but it's not. I mean, I think it's just a lot of text, but it's
I
pretty
think it'll play pretty even
intuitive.
on the board. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's this. Since this is the Plateau of Gorgoroth, all models are going to suffer a -1 to their courage, with the exception of models with the Mordor or Angmar keyword. So that's, I don't know, that might make things a little bit interesting there for you. And of course, as we say, there's neutral forces, and in this case, it's Mordor orcs. So there'll be 8 orcs in contact with each of the 3 scaffolds on the board, and they'll follow the usual rules for neutral forces. Now, these models do count towards your wound tally for this scenario. This is Lords of Battle. So
slaughter the orcs.
Have a chance. Yeah.
Slaughter the orcs.
Very cool.
Yeah, so slaughter the orcs. But I mean, and so you may have to make the decision between: am I killing faster than my opponent, or do I need to send some of my guys to disrupt their, killing the orcs too quickly? So,
interesting.
Hopefully, that'll be an interesting choice for you.
So much fun. So much fun. Can I just comment firstly and note that one of the people who wrote this rules just happens to have brought an Angmar list. Very convenient. It's all worked out. Turns out when you know the rules, you can just tailor make your fucking. Some of us are stuck with 4-inch dwarfs. Some of us have got high courage.
To be clear, I have brought an Angmar list, but I am not playing.
Not you.
Only
I forgot that you had as well. It's both of you, in fact, have picked Angmar lists. Look at this, corruption exposed right here on They Call It a Mine. 2 Angmar lists.
I believe I've got some spirits in there as well.
If you guys need, if anyone doesn't drop, then you don't. Then you're not facing mine. And mine is far more toxic too, for sure. His is steamy and wonderful. Mine is the one that is exploitative. So. With the 5 Deadmar Spectres. Look, we wrote all these wonderful neutral forces and crazy board rules. So it's like, I wrote a list that was like, I'm going to Deadmar Spectre you into the sandstorm or whatever. It's not a good list, but it's going to make you interact with the stuff.
Deadmar speak to me 2 inches away. 4-inch movement. Deadmar speak to me 2 inches. I don't care. Do what you want.
Well, as I say, I hope no one drops it. Then this toxicity will not see the light of day. So please, everyone, come.
Can I inquire? I want to know about the Sauron's Gaze thing. So you pick a model. It says any models within 3 inches. It's not any friendly models. So it's just whatever. So it can hit both sides. Okay, cool.
Yep, and the orcs.
Cool. Okay.
That gaze is terrifying. Yeah, it's
that
just
balances a lot as well. You can pick where it goes, but it's still going to hit your. If you're in the middle of melee, it's going to hit your people.
That's it. And you're
trying
to
describe that very well.
near to your opponent.
What was that? Sorry.
I said you'll try and pick somewhere that's kind of strategically going to get more of your opponent's models than yours, but on a 1, 2, 3, hey look, he's looking somewhere else, and that might suddenly be over your model. So you got to really think carefully.
And even if you can pick somewhere good, it's not going to be like you've cast and still fear everyone just leaves and you can do what you want. It's your guys have got to have the same. That's very cool. That's so nice.
And of course with the -1 as well. So
yes, true.
I think we discussed that that doesn't stack with Harbinger and all that because that's the same sort of everyone.
It doesn't stack with those things. That's
I think that was what we decided because it was.
I remember, especially if it doesn't affect Mordor and Angmar. If your opponent's Angmar and they've got the Witch King and you're at -2 courage, they're at normal courage, it would be pretty. I think it's good. That's a good plan. Question: I'm assuming chat's asking, but I'm assuming the answer is if you hit the board edge, you just stay there. You don't run off the board or anything.
Correct. Yeah.
Cool.
You don't. No. I mean, unless you're broken, then you run off the board. But yeah.
Okay.
That's a different.
That's a different mechanic. Very cool. And there's nothing in here. I'm just confirming that there's nothing in here that's like if you've got fearless or something, you're okay. Sauron, you're still fearless with Sauron. It's not like a special piercing through fearless and stuff. Doesn't ignore those rules.
Well, I mean, if fearless, you automatically pass courage test, right? So
no, that's what the widest.
Bodyguards, sworn protector.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah. No matter what, no matter who's looking at you, you stay put.
Excellent. That's gonna be. I just love these. I love these so much. Do you have a Barad-dûr tower in the middle of this board? Just out of curiosity.
No, I don't believe so. We've got some scaffolds and some fissures and stuff like that, but no. But if somebody would bring one, we have a terrain competition as part of the event, and that will put you in very high stead.
Or even having it's quite big. I guess take a lot of space and table. Even having it right next to the table would be quite cool.
Yeah, I guess that was what I was thinking. Is that it was not on the board itself. The gaze was coming onto.
Yeah.
I have played.
It's getting like an orange torch that we could shine.
Hell yes. Oh, if anyone's got one, if anyone's got that who's listening right now, bring that on the day. If you could have pointed at the model you're targeted, that's cool. Right, should we go to the next one? Khazad-dûm. Alrighty. I don't know who hasn't spoken recently. James, you would go to speak? Oh, shit.
I think he's frozen.
Oh no!
I was hoping he would do this one.
okay.
I wanted to, but
Well,
he's just friendly.
I'm sad he's gone, but I thought it was me for a moment, and that would have been, with the greatest respect, worse because who knows, the whole thing could collapse. Okay,
No.
that smile though, yeah, at least he's left it on a good look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we got to seize the prize on
Yeah,
Khazad
go
Dûm
for
here.
it. You take it.
So before the start of the game, place 4 Moria Goblin Warriors in base contact with the 2 trapdoors, the well, and the center of each of the 3 bridges. So there are 3 relatively narrow, I think it's 50 mil wide bridges across the chasm there. So that, which, and of course, as you see this, and the bridges are in the middle of the board, so the prize will start on one of those bridges. And you'll have, in this case, the goblins to contend with, as well as your opponent to get to that. I'm going to skip the Tremors of Deep Darkness and circle back to that. So visibility is reduced to 12 inches, but shooting attack scare +1 to wound. So just like the Clash by Moonlight scenario. But models with a Spirit keyword or Cave Dweller special rule can see as normal, and shooting attacks targeting them will not get the +1 to wound bonus. Okay, so then the other part, the fun part of this one is that it wouldn't be Moria without the Tremors in the Deep and some Earthquakes. So after the start of each move phase, but after heroic moves have been resolved, the player with priority will roll a d6, and on a 1 to 3, the ground will begin to shake, and the bridges over the chasm will begin to sway violently. The player without priority rolls another d6, and on a 6, nothing happens. On a 5, all the models on the eastern bridge are knocked prone. On a 3 to 4, the models on the central bridge, where the prize will be, are knocked prone, and on a 2, the models on the western bridge are knocked prone. And on a 1, all of them are knocked prone on the bridges. So, chaos, hopefully. And so that's the fun of Khazad Dûm. And I will say that this one, I think I've mentioned this before, but it is perfectly possible to, or have we removed it? That if you lose something down the chasm, you're, the prize is gone, the VPs are gone, and just it's a flop. So. Although I don't think that, I think that might be a bit tricky in this case. But if you've got a wizard and you can blast someone into the chasm or something like that, that might be a way of doing it. I suppose you could hurl them too. That might be fun. So so if you want to hurl the prize into the abyss, you're welcome to do that.
Absolutely.
Yikes! The earthquakes on the bridges is ludicrous. Ludicrous. I like how it's after heroic moves as well, so it's not even like you have a chance to get up and call a heroic move and stand up. No, you just, if anything, you don't want to call a heroic move on this bridge because you might lose your chance. The other person comes after you. Oh,
do you remember how long the bridges are, James? Because I know that they're I think they're 50 mil wide, if I'm not mistaken, because they're wide enough.
Wasn't one of them wider? The middle one wider or something?
Yeah, the one in the middle is pretty wide. I think there's one in the middle that can fit 6 models across on 25 mil bases.
Oh, okay. I thought we had.
There's 2 smaller spans on the edges, so you can kind of sneak around the edges if you want to, or you can risk the middle where all the action's going to be.
Where the prize is too, of course. So
yes.
If you want VPs, but who needs them?
All the good stuff.
Good gravy. Good gravy. I say my eyes have been drawn to the once again a spirit keyword little exception down there in the bottom right. Bloody, I take back everything I said about how great these boards are. This is clearly rigged. It's just a vanity project. You two have just buffed spirits.
We genuinely wrote these rules, over the course of the last year. We did not write the lists until we didn't know that werewolves were a thing when they wrote these lists. It was more of a,
they can't shoot.
It was genuinely a sort of a logical thing of, well, wait, why is it that a spirit model would care about that?
No, I know.
It was cave
dwellers.
We tried to introduce some logic to it.
I 100% respect you and the integrity of your creative process. I don't want to in any way impugn your honesty.
Well, yeah, I just wait till we get to the last board where it says, Kondish warriors get +1 fight value and +3 strength, and I can't remember what else I sneaked in.
Huge. Case it come on the bus. And there's goblins? How many is there? There's 24 goblins. Okay, that's a reasonable number.
24
basic goblins. Basic goblins.
Number.
I remember. I didn't play on this one last time, but I remember looking over it. And it was at one point it was a bear. I think somebody had a bear on the central bridge. I just remember thinking,
"Yep, that was me."
Christ, I'm so pleased I'm not facing that. You imagine coming up against Beorn in the middle of this bridge. You can't get past him. Oh, whoa. Oh, nightmares. So, thank God there's nobody. Although a chariot just hooning down the middle of that bridge could get some work done.
Very, very true.
Righty. Oh, James, now that you're back, take us through the barrow downs.
Oh yeah, so this is one of our new boards, and this is going to be very fun. So the scenario is command the battlefield. We need you to spread out. We are lost in the fog, so visibility down to our minimum, which is 6 inches for this board. Additionally, any model that cannot draw line of sight to a friendly model has to pass a courage test or fall under the control of the opposing player as if they were under the effects of command compel. And again, spirit keyword can see as normal.
Classic.
So for that. So yeah, you don't want to get lost. And then there's quite a lot of words here for the Barrow Wights one, but essentially we've got 6 Barrow Wights, one in contact with each of the barrows, and they follow the normal rules but with a few exceptions. So they will always attempt to drag a paralyzed model towards the nearest barrow. If there isn't a paralyzed model, they will instead attempt to paralyze the nearest model. You treat them as having 0 will for all purposes, and essentially they get a free point of will every turn for that paralyze. If the paralyze fails, they'll go and charge the model. Obviously, if it succeeds, instead, they'll attempt to start dragging them. And the reason why you really don't want to be dragged is if the Barrow Wight starts its turn in base contact with the Barrow and a dragged paralyzed model, they are immediately sacrificed and removed from the game. Doesn't matter who they are. We played this, and one of my heroes, turn 1, fell under the effects of paralyze, started getting dragged, and I had to send about 6 guys in there to help them recover from paralyze, or it could have ended very badly. And there's a little rule in there: if a Barrow Wight's charged, they'll drop the model that they're carrying, so then they don't count as being dragged. That's one way to save one of your guys. And if you recover from the effects of paralyze, you can be 1 inch away, so you don't immediately get recharged the next turn while you're still in contact with that barrow. So you've got at least kind of a little turn in there to get away. Very similar to the rules for the Fog on the Barrow Downs scenario in the Quest of the Ringbearer book. So we've kind of pretty much lifted these straight out of those. But yeah, 6 Barrow Wights walking around, paralyzing you, dragging you to your death.
I have been saying for years that this game needs more ritual sacrifice, so I mean, this is really the chance.
This was for you, Brady.
Yeah,
That's an extremely cool. I think that's awesome. I think the combo of that with the spirit rigged fog is like 100%. The way those combo together with Command the Battlefield is going to be. It's going to be spicy. It's going to be so spicy. Spread out, but not too much. But even if you only spread out a bit, like you're still going to be great. It's so good.
Yeah. Don't get near those barrows, and yeah, it's pretty funny because there's a lot of turns where you've kind of got a Barrow Wight in base contact with the model, and you go to do the fight and go, hang on, there's no fight happening here. This guy's just being dragged to his doom. We'll just leave them be. They're doing their thing, and maybe I should send someone to go save him next time. So yeah, there's a bit of time spent saving your high value models here.
Yeah.
That's so much fun. I think that's really, really cool. I think that's really, and 6 of them that's a good number. That's like they're going to be casting that. They're going to be casting that shit, and they're going to be dragging things through. And it's just, do you save or do you go for the objective? Ooh.
Save? Would you let them go? We did a bit of ritual sacrifice. We'd always kind of, I think when Brady and I played this, we started to learn pretty quickly as a little pro tip that if you just kind of feed them a model, and just go, you know what? Take him and leave us alone. It definitely buys you some time, but only so much.
God, they were one of the times we played that I recall that them coming back. We rolled very poorly on getting rid of them, and they were a very annoying model to have to keep contending with. You're like, I cannot turn my back on them because they will paralyze the guy from 6 inches away and try and drag him back.
Yeah.
I just see you're 2/3 of the way through the game, your attrition's getting pretty high, and the fog's closing in, and the area in which you can be is getting smaller and smaller, and these things are coming and just grabbing another one every couple. I just think it's
because there's 6 of them, so by the time you're getting to that point in the game, the ones that were on the other side of the board have now arrived.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot of them. There's a lot, and that's more than enough to give you a lot of hassle. Yeah. I think this is making me smile. I want to play this one. I'm desperate to play this one. This is very cool.
It's a good one. I'm happy about this one. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Very impressive.
Yeah, very fun. There's a little bit more you have to do and keep track of, but it's worth it to see models being dragged to their doom.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's sacrificed. All right. Last one. I might take us through this one. There's no spirit bonuses. Firstly, you'll be pleased to know. In this one, Amon Hen to the death. The neutrals are Uruk Scouts. 4 of them in each corner. Okay, cool. Chasing. I like that. That's good stuff.
Yep.
And if other players are model in base contact with the seeing seat of Amon Hen at the start of turn, they can re-roll their priority roll. That's cool. That's cool. That's nifty. That's fun. They're coming at you. You're playing to the death. You're scrapping. You're fighting. They're coming at you from the sides, and you can tinker with priority by being the arm on him.
Yep.
That's fun. That's nice. That's chill.
Yeah, so the Sing Seed will be in the middle. I mean, it's a nice bonus. You can ignore it if you want. I mean, it'll give your opponent a bit of an advantage, but it's something you might want to fight over. Pretty good.
That's cool.
With priority.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's cool. I like that. That's nice. It's probably quite a nice palate cleanser. If you just come off imagine this is your order you the boards in. You just come off Barrowdown's game. You're like, that was great fun, but jeez, it's a lot to keep track of. And then you come to Amon here, and it's like, okay, stand on big thing in middle. Touch big thing. Problem solved.
Yep.
Good. I can do this. You've come in there. Game 4 at the end of the day after doing Storm, Barrow Whites. Okay, just put hands on thing. That's nice. It's a good palate cleanser. Fresh to lighten things up at the end.
And it's powerful enough, and it kind of it makes the terrain relevant. It's not just a nice looking thing in the middle. That like every time I've played with that piece of terrain, people fight around the edges. Some people kind of maybe go up the stairs, and but unless if there's an objective up there's almost no reason to really engage with the piece at all.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, you are up those stairs and trying to get to that seat nice and quickly, because why not? It's if you're just letting that go, it's a really nice bonus. It does make a difference.
So true, actually. That's a really good point, because I've played that piece of terrain before, and you're right. People just walk around the sides, but making it actually
just fight around the sides.
Yeah. That's really cool. So it's the actual seat itself rather than the. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
So it's not the base of it. You need to get up those stairs and in contact.
Misunderstanding. That's cool. That changes it. And also, I think
I think you could get 4 models up there in base contact with it if you really wanted to hedge your bets. You can get kind of
lock it down.
25 mil bases around the seat. Yeah.
Plus, also, it must be said, 16 Orc Scouts is actually not to be sneezed at in terms of neutrals. Like they're probably completely with the scariest neutrals out there, apart from maybe the whites themselves. But that's 16 Orc Scouts is going to put give a lot of people a lot of strife. I mean, that's basically a 200-point army at that point.
Yeah.
Compared, you got
A lot
400
of the
points.
neutrals, don't underestimate them. I mean, like the Ford with the strength 4.
That's true.
The Watchers with 2 dice, 2 attacks are
I totally true. And not underestimating any of them, not at all. But
Scouts. I mean, like Scouts, Barrow Whites. Like I don't know. I feel like the Goblins are the only ones that are, they're a bit more numerous.
So just for killing.
Yeah, but I mean the others, like the other 4. I mean, they can.
That's true.
I mean, there are definitely a couple of playtest games where they did more killing of James than I did. So.
I don't know how much was their ability versus your ability, but
yes,
even the neutrals are better than.
Yeah, absolutely.
better than Brady. That's tough. All right, these are pretty cool. I really enjoy them. I can't wait to see how they play. I really want to play the Barrowdowns. I really want to play the Saruman. They're my 2 favourites, probably. I think actually the Gorgoroth and the Barrowdowns. So chat.
See what we can make happen.
Pick a favourite and hope you play it. There's no guarantees, but hope you play it. All right. So keep these in mind, folks, for the second half of the event, which is the actual lists themselves. Should we crack onto that?
Sure. Let's do it.
Don't keep people up all night, Right. So that's the boards, slideshows, baby, and we'll go now to the lists. So this is the first list we have here. Host of the Witch King. So we've got a new Legion. Play them while you can. So we've got a Witch King. He's just a 3/10/3 Witch King. I think by the looks of it with an armoured horse. 6 orcs with shield, 4 orcs with shield spear, 1 with banner shield spear, 3 Wild Riders with shield and throwing spears, and 2 spectres. And then Nasdaq with 4 orcs with shield, 4 with shield and spear, and 3 with all orc bows. What's that? That's a lot of people. That's 29 plus a Witch King. That's a lot of people.
Yep.
I think that's fun. I can't remember.
Certainly,
is this
one
one
of
of yours?
the highest model count.
Brady, was that your one you picked or not? Am I correct in imagining that?
Nope, that's
No.
I know whose list that is. That is not mine. Mine is not in this because I hope
That's
to
right.
not
No,
have any.
sorry, it's not there. Yeah. So it's not a TO list. So I can't make
it
it
is.
rules. I was going to say, do I lay in about how you've just rigged the event and how it's outrageous? Now you've got these spirits and Angmar, but no, this person's just struck it lucky. They've probably been going through all of these events, all of these things going ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. It's got
Yes.
dark in here, hasn't it?
Well, that's why we didn't say what the boards were in advance, because we didn't, we wanted the maximum chaos. So if you randomly got lucky and you got the right
you randomly got lucky. It turns out the whole event was rigged towards spirit players, and if you happen to be a spirit player, ka-ching. But if you're a dwarf with siege weapons, fuck you. You can't see shit and you can't move. You lose it. I love it.
It's my recompense for all that time I played Watchers of Karna with my hatred skill. I felt like I need to give something back for all the abuse that I've done to spirit players. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go.
This one's going to do well. I think the orc bows will be pretty useless, even more so than usual.
100%.
Yeah.
But the Witch King will be very useful. Spectres will be very useful, and we'll get to see Nasdaq. My first time seeing Nasdaq.
So good.
Oh, that's light's really shit, isn't it?
See what can get stolen.
Stealing stuff off the neutrals as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say they can steal the neutrals. I mean, so I guess I'll have to think about that. So if Nasdaq steals the second blade from a Watcher of Karna, does he get an extra attack?
Yeah, why not?
Think about it. Yeah, sure. All right,
why not?
Yeah, if Nasdaq can steal the blade, congratulations.
That's big. That's big. Hey, I'm playing dwarfs too, so it's dwarf. It's self-deprecating. It's not just attacking. He doesn't have a great pick for like this. Chat thinks Nasdaq's a great pick. I think chat may be pumping their own, blowing their own trumpet a wee bit. So maybe nothing like someone in chat being like, "Oh, this seems like a really great list. I don't know who could have bought this." So
what I think is going to end up being a great list even better is the next list on here.
Sure, should we go to the next one? Except before we do, can I just say, take that armoured horse off the Witch King, drop a point of fate and a warrior, and get like 3 more points of will, please. That is a Witch King who just needs. That's not 3-10-3 with an armoured horse. I'm not convinced.
But he doesn't lose will for fighting with this legion. Like he gets.
Oh, does he not?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, in that case, Mazel's top. Yeah, of course not. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, in that case, yes.
Or does it? Is it if he loses the fight? I think he loses. If I'm not mistaken, but. Yeah, as long as he wins, I think he does.
That's right, but it's no. It's like 2 attacks, but no crown.
Against men,
is it right?
They don't lose the point of will, and if they win. And I was trying to remember about the other rule. So that's why it's over.
So is it no crown, but he gets like 2 attacks? Is that right? Am I remembering that? Or is he
yes, that's right. Yeah, so he gets 3 attacks, and it's and then there's a reroll for casting a resist as well. That was what the other rule was. Yeah, it's basically effectively.
It is effectively the crown. Okay, right. Oh well, I was wrong then. Oh well, in that case,
I remember.
I
apologize. That's why the will is so. Because the combat thing.
Imagine giving him. Anyway, I'm not going to comment on the new edition. Giving him both those, but giving him the crown and the Black Rider special rule. Sure, why not?
Yeah,
he's 115 points for all that. Is ludicrous. Anyway,
well, we lose a lot of the other stuff from the Angmar list, though. Was the thing.
Well,
so it's like
but he becomes the single best hero in the game at that point, by a long shot. The Dead of Dunharrow. I always feel sorry for these players because you see 394 points because it's Army of the Dead, baby. If you only wasted 6 points, you've done very well. Secondly, Spirits meta, baby. Spirits meta.
Exactly.
I want to see this on the Barrow Downs.
Yeah, so you're welcome.
Yeah, on the Barrow Downs, true. These things getting dragged away.
It out.
Oh, that's horrible. And the thing is, despite being spirits, they're good spirits, and so they are still scared of the Eye of Sauron for some reason. Angmar orcs, mortal orcs, completely okay with it. Good spirits, terrified. So, King of the Dead, 7 warriors with spear and shield, and a herald with 7 warriors with spear and shield.
Party.
Done. Party. Party.
Right. You cracked it.
Yep.
It's always tough, the Army of the Dead list review. It's like, what do you say? There's no real choice to be made. You'd like to take up the riders, obviously, and maybe you could drop a few spears, but, the thing is, in an Army of the Dead list, you have to drop all of the spears to get an extra model. So...
And you need all the numbers you can get at this one. Because this is going to be the smallest force on the board, and there will be 3 of them.
It's so true, actually. You're going to be outnumbered substantially by neutrals. Although, to be fair, in fairness, at 400 points, 16 Army of the Dead is actually effectively a horde. Like, these things are expensive. This is actually, when I look at it, a shitload of Army of the Dead. Like, there's a lot of Warriors Dead here. Like, it's all well and good to say I've got a really buffed up Witch King in my Angmar list. I don't know what, my 29 Angmar Orcs are going to do against 16 Army of the Dead. They're going to do sweet Fanny Adams, I think. So
absolutely. Yeah, and those neutral forces have to pass courage tests. So,
True. Yeah, these things will deal with most neutrals pretty effectively. Well, Watches of Kana, baby. Watches of
I,
Kana.
was gonna say, I hope you can avoid the carnivore because that's the 2 attack featured spirit mob. So that's where it balances out. I guess. If
You
you're
go.
one of the
Yeah.
spirit players, don't want that one.
That would be horrible, actually. That's true, actually.
Yeah.
Watch Warriors don't count as having heavy armor, do they? Or wanting to be slowed down by the.
No, I don't think so. Right?
I
They're-
believe so. It's
They
like
can't.
ghostly, ethereal
Yeah.
armor. Yeah.
Cool.
They're just hovering above
That'd be
the
fun.
sands.
All right, that's cool. That's fun. I like the interactions that make that very cool. Right, next one is I know someone else can speak. James.
Yes. So this is 4 models. I love this. This is a Rivendell and Numenor list. So we have Glorfindel, Lord of the West, with his armor of Gondolin. We have an Arwen Undomiel, and we have Bilbo Baggins with the Mithril coat and a Sildor. And I believe the theme here is kind of a bit of a Fall of Gondolin. So we've got I think it's a Sildor representing Tuor. This is really going to test my Silmarillion knowledge here. Brady, I might need to refer to you on this one. The important
yes.
people who were at Gondolin.
so Tuor, Dior, Arenville's wife that's who Arwen is to represent. I don't remember who Bilbo was supposed to be. Who was Bilbo?
I think Bilbo was Tuor.
Was Bilbo
Silmarillion
Tuor?
stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, I understand. I'm just trying to remember who. I remember Bilbo being a bit of an odd one that I didn't quite grok how with the connection immediately. So I'm trying to find what the list was exactly here. But yes, that was.
Yeah,
that
I
was
wonder
what
if it was maybe like
it was
a.
the fall of
yeah.
Gondolin.
Can I congratulate you both for knowing more of the possibilities than I do? I'm more of a game expert than I am a Silmarillion expert. At least I can do that.
Well, that's why I'm embarrassed because I do know this really well, but I'm trying to. I want to get this right though.
It's been suggested that Bilbo is Eärendil.
Yes, that was what it
Yeah.
was. Is the Bilbo was
yeah.
Arendelle, and I was like,
Child
that's
at the time, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So that was the last one.
Right.
Yeah.
I see.
Makes sense. Yeah, this is going to be tough.
Yes,
I think
respect
that
this,
all of the
but,
low point army lists that we have, which is quite a few, this is going to be tough.
I would not. One bad round of the Barrow Whites, and this one's going to get tabled by the
This
bots.
is
You
gone.
know, like this is one bad round of Paralyzed. I mean, Glorfindel's all right, but the other 3 are, not unheard of.
Yep.
I think of them getting nicked.
Yeah.
Whoever's facing this, just sit back, maybe. A couple of turns, see what happens.
And is that in a dedication to theme? Has that Isildur player deliberately chosen not to bring the free 1 ring, or has they got that? It's not here, but it's free. I don't know. I mean, is it
Yes.
someone's been like,
Yeah,
I'm
there
so
was-
dedicated to the theme,
There was
I'm not taking
I was trying to see
no
what
one
you
ring
feel
in
about
this
that.
list.
Wow. Let's try Bilbo as well. Yeah, there's 2 ring bearers.
I love
No,
that.
that's dedication to the theme right there.
There's a FEMI tournament. Yeah, big kudos for that.
Wow,
Good luck.
good. I like that. It's gonna. What's the myth? I did wonder this when you talked about the desert one. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Any hobbits that wear heavy armor? What's the position on Mithril Cope as heavy armor? Does that? Please say it makes Bilbo a 3-inch movement. Please.
Is it defined as heavy armor?
I don't think it is.
No,
No, I think
it
it's
is.
definitely
That's
shouldn't
the
be.
whole point of Mithril.
It's a
is
little
incredibly light inside
light,
of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're
I
right.
don't believe it's counted as heavy armor. Yeah.
I agree with you, but
Doesn't-
I just was hoping that we might be able to get like a 3-inch one. Just
But if someone can
You've
point,
got
Bilbo.
4 models here, Sam. What are you doing? You can't try to
it's
spin that while you
funny. It's funny though. It'll still be a 5-inch Isildur and a 5-inch Glorfindel. I see.
yep, absolutely. Yeah.
But in fairness, if this player is to come up against, I don't know, something that's also low model count and focused on magic, then it'll do quite well.
Very true.
Yeah.
This is trying to
Glorfindel's going to have to put in some work.
scraping around for a Glorfin and Isildur. They can do good work, but they're not even on horses. Oh,
Yeah.
the theme is done is one out, and I always find it
Wonderful.
tough when you do reviews like it's a themey list. It's cool for what it is, but how do you review it? Obviously you should take the free 1 ring, but is it appropriate?
No. You misunderstand theme.
Exactly. This is the point. I was like, well, I can't. What am I going to
Well,
say?
I mean, the neutrals can do your work for you, though. I mean, that is definitely, they carried me in more than one of our playtest games. Of like, oh, I won. Well, the neutrals really
I
want
mean,
it.
it's true that you are unlikely to lose the game to the Forodwaith, for example, and with Glorfindel and Isildur standing in front of them. That is true. I cannot dispute that.
They've got plenty of other targets. That storm is being drawn to the nearest model. You don't have many, so odds are it's not yours.
Yes, genius. There's always a silver lining. That's the beauty of the perfectly balanced H's Wrath event.
Yeah. So maybe this player should just sit back.
Sit back, relax. Let the board do let your fingers do the walking.
Especially in the scenarios that require being quartered, because they have to one model remaining. So as long as Glorfindel and Isildur are alive, you're fine.
Very true. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, good luck to them, I say. With their ringless ring mirrors. The next list. The next one is Numenor. Brady, do you want to speak Numenorian for us?
Sure. So we've got another Isildur, this time with the horse, shield, and the ring. Yeah, exactly. With 5 warriors with shield, 2 with shield and spear, and 4 with shield, bow, and spear. Then a second warband with Captain of Numenor, heavy armor and shield, 5 warriors with shield, 4 with shield and spear, and another one with shield, bow, and spear. So no banner. Interesting. Okay, yeah.
No.
So that brings him to 23 models, 5 bows. Yeah, like I said, no banner, but the extra spears on the bowman, I guess, or the shield on the bowman.
Yeah. I think I've seen this person do shields and bows before. I think the rationale is, well, I've got 5 spear points. Now they can,
No, I think
now they can shield in combat. I guess so. There's not no benefit from it, but I think it was me. I would have probably dropped a couple of models and those extraneous shields and put a banner on someone. You're still at 21 models with a Isildur and on a horse. You got a banner.
To me, the one is you've got 5 guys with shield, bow, and spear, and so you could take the extraneous shield off those bowmen or what have you, and either drop the heavy armor, probably heavy armor, and give the captain a horse would be my that's 10 points, right? Because you take 5 of those, and that's like I prefer to have them with heavy armor and shield and a horse, but
you're right.
I think I'd rather have the horse.
Honestly, and I drop the shield, but a lance on as well, just for a real,
Well, yeah, absolutely. But I guess it's more like if you have 5 extra points, and I'm looking at the captain as that way, then I'm thinking, well, with 5 points, I will drop the heavy armor.
That's true.
And give more.
That's true.
Yeah,
Don't
but
dispute that.
Again, that requires some conversion, so maybe that's a model
which is the hard part. Not a lot of people have piles of captains of Numenor and horse lying around, and if you do, bad luck, because you're not going to be able to use them in a couple of months' time. As a man who has, I think, somewhere between 10 and 12 of them in a box in my room, that does sting. You people, Legacy, you complain, but you got years more with your stuff. Mounted captains in Numenor here. I got weeks to live. I'm never getting played again.
The shield, bow, spear guys, right? I mean, I think that was the thing that's bothered me more about the whole Legacy announcement, is that all the time that people have put into making things like Warriors of Numenor with shield, bow, and spear. Well,
no, but they must still be able to be it's War Gear on models. The models exist for a bow one. The models exist for shield and spear one. It's just that kind of thing will still be legit, surely.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't write the rules and say they can.
It's like Mountain Court Guard, right? That never came with shields.
Yeah.
They'll drop that because they never made the model for it. Yeah.
That's a good.
I
hadn't thought about that.
About 20 of the Iron Hills dwarves that don't have swords, but natively their profile is just with sword. You pay a point to give them the spear, but Games Workshop only gave you the guy with spear. So it's going
to be a weapon swap, surely, right? You have to pick one.
Not hugely, but it's just like, why? Why are we doing that? So
they're not sword ones. Maybe. I'm sure I said maybe.
Yeah, there is there's only spear one. But they're already expensive enough. So I'm like, well, I don't want to pay for all this. I don't pay for spear for everyone. That's a couple extra models. So, anyways. But so this has
become a new edition stream. Frowning faces on. Let's make some controversial statements. Surprise! This is actually 3 old men shouted at a cloud.
Anyway, how dare you change things?
How dare you change things? Change!
Exactly. Anyways, so yes, that's quite a lot of Numenorian strength 4. That should be good.
I love Numenorians. Isildur is a phenomenal little machine. And he'll keep his horse next edition, so a result there. The captains are good. They are really good fighters. They'll be excellent as scrap. Isildur is, he can go toe-to-toe with Brinageria we've seen so far. And with the ring. And the Warriors
need a horse, though, right, to make them the good killing machine. Like, that's what because otherwise...
That's true. The captain would be better on the horse, of course. Yeah. But even so, they're still, 60
Oh, yeah,
points
yeah,
for
yeah.
a
Yeah.
D7
Yeah.
Fight 5 captain is not,
Yeah.
They're still pretty price efficient, I reckon, those guys. They're pretty good models, pretty good profiles.
One thing about I've never quite grokked with Numenors, is you want Isildur with a horse, but you can't use the ring with the horse. So it's like, do you dismount him? Is that what you? I guess I
At
just
some
never
point you
bothered.
do, yeah, I think.
Yeah.
But, you charge, kill some shit to start with, and then take him off
Right.
when he has to use the ring.
But
I think
I
most
suppose
of your time not using the ring because he's so good at killing. He's strength 5, hand and a half, 3 attacks on a horse. You just want to, I think most of the time, using to kill warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I suppose that does make him a less tempting target for bowmen or things like that, because if you kill his horse, then he just starts. Okay,
Doing-
fine. Then I will come hunt down your
Yeah.
beater hero with
Yeah.
my with the ring. So,
And I think it's actually really good at troop kill as well because you can spend, like, it's 3 points of might, you can spend it all on heroic combats. Like, you don't need to worry about
Yeah.
strikes because you've got the ring. So you can just
Yeah.
you can do a lot of damage with them in a pretty short space of time, and then put the ring on and go hero hunting, and you don't need strike Schmike.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's I'm a Billy's bigger Sildor fan. At least he keeps his horse, like you use him in new edition. Right, Thranduil's halls. We have. You thought 4 models was a small army. Well, Sonny
Oh,
Jim.
we've got the
Model
minimum.
horde, right? Yeah.
It was 3 model minimum, isn't it? Yeah, it's true. We got Thranduil with his extra sword, his circlet, his elk, his elf bow, and some heavy armor. We've got Legolas with a cloak, a horse, an Orcrist, and Toriel with an elf bow. This person has gone minimum models, maximum war gear on
Love
this
that.
one.
Love it. Love this list. I love that Toriel might just spend the whole game chasing after them.
Yes,
A little
definitely.
cruel.
Definitely. I mean, I think they are-
Legolas and
Sorry, go on.
Legolas and Dad are charging off. She'll be somewhere. Maybe she's the sacrifice of the Barrow-wights. Here you go. Deal with the Barrow-wights. We're off to go claim some objectives.
Thranduil's a very scary fella, and I mean, at 400 points, there's not going to be a lot of stuff that can, that can go toe to toe with him. And in fact, I posit there is no stuff really that's going to be able to go toe to toe with him.
Maybe
So-
a Isildur with the ring would be good.
Hey,
That's essentially-
there you go. That's true. That's true. The
But
ring.
I guess if you are going to leave someone behind on foot with the other two on being Cav models, someone with knife fighters is a pretty good person to leave behind.
Yes. Knife fighters against the neutrals. That sounds like a good time to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
slaughtering orcs at a rate of knots.
Love the elk. There aren't enough elks in this game.
There are no elks in this game, but with the thing about, it's a good point about neutrals though. Because the thing about neutrals as well though is that if you're losing priority, you're going to need to call in moves every single turn because you can't afford to have a couple of models peeled off by a neutral because that's your game. Your turn's over. So,
They do have to pass the Curse test, so he's got the circlet. So I admire the commitment to this.
that is true.
Because I mean, the circlet's not that great with only 2 other models that you're throwing that 6-inch terror.
Yeah,
thing,
but you had the points left. You weren't going to spend it on extra on troops. Were you? Clearly, this person was like, "I'm bringing 3 models. I'm going to trick them out. I don't care if he doesn't need the circlet. I don't care if the sword is. I don't care. I'm taking it.
Yeah, like,
I'm paying for it.
I would have done that and been like, I'm going to bring some Mirkwood Cav just so that I've got 6 models instead of 3. But
Yeah, but you're a
committed.
famous power gamer, though, Brady. You're a try-hard, real sort of power gamer. So you know you're like Brady. Don't be like Brady, guys.
Absolutely.
All right. Next one is here we go. Come on, admit it.
Yeah. This is my list. Which again, when the new edition, when the new supplement came out, looked like a very fun list. Wanted to play it.
Definitely.
Was not thinking about all of these spirit keywords and all the rules we created.
did
It
look
sounded
very
like a
cool.
fun time.
It does
He
look
wrote
Just,
all of them
pure-
before he
pure
had this.
coincidence.
I will vouch for him there.
It's TO approved. So, so I've got 28 models total. I've got a Wild Warg Chieftain. This is the beefy one that gets the extra Might Wolf Fate, I believe it is. Another Wild Warg Chieftain, and we've got 3 werewolves in total and 23 Wild Wargs. These guys are a lot of fun to play with. It's a high model count, which helps with those neutrals. I mean, they're not particularly good models. They go down pretty quick.
They're fast than neutrals,
but they can
though.
move
They can just
pretty fast.
get away
Yep.
from the neutrals, yeah.
They are fast, and those werewolves are pretty fun. I did debate just bringing entirely werewolves and just kind of seeing how that went, but I thought I wanted a slightly longer game. That seemed like it would have been a pretty quick one.
You have 23 Wild Wargs. You're going to use it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you-
So
So can you tell me what does the Wolfpack do?
Fight 4 though, so
Yeah, so they're all getting knocked down on the charge, even the normal wargs, which is really fun.
Oh, that's right.
You've got
infantry,
you've got the beefy warg leader. If he takes a wound, he counts as a 6-inch banner. So there is an incentive to let your leader take a wound. You drop the VP and get a 6-inch banner for the rest of the game, which for these guys is really helpful. And then one turn you can essentially go howl, and you are getting +1 to fight.
You
and
lost me for a second. Can you give us another?
What was that? Howl! I would do that on the day. That is a necessary component. Yeah, you have to do that.
Years ago we used to have someone who played Theoden's Riders of Theoden, and they'd call death and they'd scream it at the top of their lungs in the middle of it, and it was so fucking unpleasant. Like, it's all good to call death, but to scream it as hard as you can in the middle of the room and no one's expecting it. It was so I think a gentle awoo, is much nicer. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I wasn't
you're getting +1 fight, re-rolling failed wounds on that turn of combat. Right.
Seems quite strong to me.
It's pretty strong. It does a lot in one turn, and then it could all flip very, very quickly. Is my experience of this list.
Lose that fight 3 though is the problem. Is that you've got your fight 3, you got to win your fights to make it worthwhile.
That's true. That's true. And when you want to attack no banner or anything, well, to start with at least, that's true. There is
and as I say, multiple of the boards have neutrals that are fight 4. So he's even if you're
a Watcher of Kana is going to eat a wild rogue for breakfast, isn't it? Really, actually?
Or the Orc Scouts also strength 4 fight. Oh.
Yeah, they go down quick. Really, we talk about ritual sacrifice. This is that's the play with this list. You just one doggy at a time. You go. You take him, and we'll send the big beefy boys to go in and do some damage.
It's cool. It's really cool. It looks really fun. I remember reading it. I remember not being in love with most stuff that came out in the new book, but I remember reading this one thinking that was far away my favourite one. I really enjoyed this one. I think it's going to be cool to see.
And I slightly suspected this might have been one of those instantly goes to legacy within the space of 2 months type,
No, but they've said they won't, though, will they?
Or...
They've said all the Angmar stuff will be coming back. It'll be re-released for the new edition, won't it?
Yeah, that's true.
So you will get to keep playing it. So it won't be having a box of 30 wargs just chucked under the bed, never to be used again. Because when else are you going to need them? Give them to Brady. Brady's probably he's probably only got 70. He probably needs 30 more.
100%. And I think with this one as well, it's I want something naturey, right? It's going to be Ents, it's going to be wargs, it's going to be Druidan. But no, I went the wild warg route.
Very cool. All right, next one is Minas Tirith, Brady. I want to hear your dulcet tones.
Minas Tirith and Fiefdoms. We have Forlong the Fat as leader with his horse, which he's going to get some use out of while he can. He's leading 6 Knights of Dol Amroth on horse with their lances, and the second warband is Madril. He's got 4 rangers. They also have 7 warriors of Minas Tirith shield and spear. So it looks like it's and then of course the Rich Dicebearer on a horse. So that's 20 models. 5 bows, 6 money. Not too bad.
Cool.
Some fast guys, a few bows. Forlong could do some work.
As a person who also owns Forlong, I'm almost brought him for the same reason. I'm really sad to see my Forlong on a horse, my mounted fat medieval Bismarck.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. Sad to see him go. Very cool model. I mean, Knights of Lamroth, I know not everyone loves them. I love them. I think they're great. I think they're cool. I play them every chance I get. They're great fun. They're strong.
Maybe they'll be cheaper in the next.
I was going to say a couple of points cheaper would be just a couple of points cheaper would be nice. But anyway, Madril obviously very good. I strongly feel that 4 of the spears should be removed from the warriors and added to the rangers. What on earth are they doing?
I agree.
Why there's 7 warriors
Yeah.
with spears and no rangers with spears? That is a rare misstep from somebody who is otherwise normally a very good player and excellent list builder. And I want them to feel bad. Or maybe we'll assume that James
4 models
did
in
it
front, and your D6 guys, your D7 guys in the back. That's yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's where you want them. Maybe we'll just assume that James just keyed this in wrong when he put it into the list builder and you'll just show up with, I'll bring you 4 rangers with spears. Can we retcon this live here right now, and I can bring the rangers with spears? I feel so strongly that this, this must be done. This is outrageous.
No, this is the list.
I mean, don't you want to save that special request in case you come across a banner without a spear or something?
Yeah, that's true. I don't have those mocks. I don't have any banners with spears. My banners all have fake spears, but no, painting the rangers right now. Paint the spears. Anyway, all right, that's all right. There's a lot of
knights. There's actually quite a few knights for 400 points though. Like 6 knights and 4 down. That's a pretty, that's
They'll do some damage.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's very cool. I wanted it. My other list I was playing was Emerald Hill Forlong, and I think 9 or something was my other dream list to bring, or 8 or something.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Right, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be good fun. Forlong, nice little warhorn on him. Can I just say, gonna be very very useful for all this carriage. A lot of carriage stuff in this event.
Yeah.
Very true.
It's gonna help a lot.
Take that into Mordor.
Gondor +1 carriage. Those rangers are gonna be at what, carriage 6? Gondor bonus plus the warhorn. That's good luck, Sarah. I'm not worried. It's very good.
They are staying put.
Yeah, staying put. And Ridge, of course. We not forget Ridge. Ridge is there.
Right.
And Ridge is there too.
Good for him. Congratulations, Ridge.
Drinking seems like a good coping mechanism for some of these boards.
Good. Ridge is there. He's part of the team. All right. Rangers. Great League of Legion. Love it. Wish I owned it. Whose turn is it to speak? Who spoke last? Was it me?
Me.
All right, I'll go. This is my turn. No, I want to. No, it's my turn. I really love Rangers and Mirkwood. I want to do this one. Legolas with a cloak, 7 Rangers and a Sentinel, Toriel with a bow, and 6 Rangers. Come on, it's like 20 shots. 16 models. They're all elf. They got knife fighters. They got 5/5. They got high carriage. They shoot. It's a nature terrain based event. There are lots of trees everywhere. Maybe. Probably not actually based on the lists we've seen. The desert, not many trees in the desert, not many trees in far away. But it's such a cool
Storm. Yeah, I'm on heads in the forest. There you go. So
all it takes is a box of those GW Rangers, and then a couple of heroes. It's so. Maybe it's the next one I'll get. Oh, sorry. Every time I say this list. What's that?
Your Sentinel just kind of luring people away.
Yeah. Every time I do a list review and I see someone put a Rangers and Mirkwood list in, I just look at it and go, I just really want to own that list myself. I really want to buy that. That's every time I do it, I'm like, I could just go in there and grab that. Just have that. I think it'll work pretty well too. Can I just say, with the stuff I've seen, apart from all the range, all the range reductions though. Actually,
range is the thing I'd be most wary of with all.
That's true.
Yeah.
Do they come with throwing daggers?
They do, and knife fighters. So, in the Legion, Legolas gets knife fighters as well. So, they'd be good for the neutrals for sure. And then the Elven Cloaks obviously will help.
Totally. Yeah, actually, Elven Cloaks will help even the in terms of shooting. Like you still got a couple of turns for someone to shoot back at you. Yeah, it's true. The shooting debuff is actually that's a big issue. There's so many of those boards, but. Yeah. It's still such a cool Legion. And yes, throwing daggers will be good fun. And they will fuck up neutrals, so.
Right.
I just love it. Every time I see it, it just makes me happy. Just a great Legion. All those bows, man. Oh! Anyway.
This is 16 bow.
40 points, though.
James. Farharad. Mahood.
Yes. Farharad. Riding into the sunset. But one last hurrah! I'm surprised this wasn't one of Brady's suggestions because this feels like a list.
It's going to Legacy. It's still going to be here, people.
Up your own up.
Wait, but didn't he swap his list for a different one? Isn't this?
Oh, did he? Did I miss that?
I thought.
No, you're right.
Am I misremembering?
I think he did, and I didn't put it in.
I was going to say I thought that this was. I was under the impression that this was the list we substituted out.
Next list. So,
okay, let's move on. Nothing to see here.
Yes,
Kingdom of Khazad-dûm. Here we go. So here's our little dwarfy list, and here's the siege weapon. There was always going to be one, and I believe there is only one, and here it is. So we've got Durin as the leader. We've got a dwarf with a shield and a banner, 5 dwarfs with bow, 7 Khazad guard with the half guard upgrade, and that little dwarf ballista shooting into the darkness 12 to
Could have brought a
16
shield
inches.
bearer that gives you that does some cool shenanigans with courage and heroic combats, but no, you had to do the ballista, didn't you?
Just be trudging through the deserts. Shooting 6 inches into the dark. No, but I mean, this will do well against the neutrals, right? This has got
That's true.
survivability.
That's
I think that's kind of the big
Got
strong
most
suit going
units
for this.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, Durin can hold his own for a long time.
Yeah.
Nice to see those Khazad guards swinging their two-handed weapons. Yeah, I think this will survive. It just won't get anywhere quick.
Oh, I didn't realize he was actually Durin. I was thinking before when we were doing the armor things. Oh, so at least there's no mithril Durin. There is a Durin. So does his mithril is his heavy mithril? Is his slowed down or is he going full pace?
I'll look at what it says. I know they have heavy dwarf armor, right? But I can't remember what they're.
Yeah.
He's got mithril. I'm not sure if it's like heavy mithril armor or something or what it's called.
I'll look at it before the day out.
If the word heavy is not in there, I think. If the word heavy on the wall.
He'll be waddling along at 5 inches compared to his 4-inch buddy, so I'm not sure he's any better off, frankly. But oh god, I hope I can just see it now. It's going to be me versus this on the desert list, and it's just going to be 4 inches at a time waddling towards each other. I mean, it's only an hour and 15. We're not going to get into combat.
It is heavy mithril armor, so I think we'll have to make a.
Oh, okay.
Yes! Hit him!
But it's still
hit
mithril,
him.
though.
Take him down! Beat the shit out of him! Yes! Yes!
I'll think about it.
Slow
I'll
him
think about
down! Come on!
Yeah.
The word heavy's in there. Sounds like heavy armor to me.
Yeah. No, that's good. It's a good fear. Yeah.
I'm not making any rulings right now. I will think about it. Consider the implications before I get myself. I learned that from the Australians. Like that's how as a TO you get yourself in trouble. Is that someone asks you something in advance, and then you're like, yeah, sure, why not? And then you don't see the problem with that, and then they bring Tom Bombadil and you ruin everyone's day. So no, I'll think about it. So I'm not committing to anything right now.
It's gonna be. Hopefully, it never comes up. Hopefully, for this player's sake, it never comes up. Although, to be fair, if you're on desert board, at least you're not on one of the 5 boards that gives you a ballista 6 inches range. So maybe you're actually better on the desert. If I'm against this one on the desert, it's just going to be how many shots can you fire as I'm moving 4 inches per turn? Like Jesus! Oh my God, there'll be nothing left.
It'd work out well.
Dear. Oh dear.
Pretty hard to move something out of the way of the storm, though.
Yeah,
that's true.
Taking that speed weapon away.
That's true. But Durin is shit. I think we're going to finish this off by Durin is bad. Every time I see him, I want him to be good. I wish he was good. He's not. He's too slow. For 160 points for a man who can never actually get into combats.
Which is why you're encouraging me to rule in such a way that makes it even worse.
I have, yeah.
The thing that I think makes him suck the most, accentuate that more, please. Would you?
Look at those dwarf warriors. If only they'd been dwarf rangers. They would have been moving at regular speed. Oh. Missed opportunity.
There you go. Yep.
Opportunity. All right.
This is why we don't release the rules in advance.
Exactly.
All right. Next time I'm sick of looking at dwarfs. I just despise dwarfs. No offense to the dwarf lovers out there. Next one is Lothlorien.
Aldir with an elf bow and an elf cloak, 2 sentinels, 5 wood elf warriors throwing daggers, wood elf spears, and 1 wood elf warrior with elf bow and throwing daggers. Then a wood elf captain, elf bow with wood elf spear and throwing daggers. I guess we're going for the theme. That must be going. All right. So then 2 more wood elf sentinels, 5 wood elf warriors with throwing daggers and spear, and then a warrior with elf bow and throwing daggers. So I think that we should all take a moment and applaud the great strides and growth that this player has done, and is not bringing stormcallers and other things. That he's really
this is genuinely this is a cool list.
Yeah.
This is
cool.
Yeah.
Love
exactly.
This.
Yes.
This is great.
I hate elves,
all
but
those throwing daggers.
For this player,
4 sentinels. Why not?
Possibly a little overkill. I mean, you could have. There's a world in which this list is 25 models. With just slightly more, just a few snips on the war gear and a couple of snips in the sentinel department.
Definitely a significant improvement.
Significant improvement.
Oh, so let's take the win.
Oh, that's true. I shouldn't. This is
the model count alone.
Yes, exactly. Not a stormcaller in sight. So,
Yeah, exactly.
Well done.
Yep. Aristor stayed home.
Hey,
Other things to do.
I mean, Aristor's pretty good. He's what else, Captain? All right. I mean, it's a theme thing. That's a theme thing. So that's
Yeah.
cool.
They've
Lots of Sentinels. So that should be fun, especially with the courage shenanigans. That'll make them a bit more effective. So.
That's true. Actually, courage shenanigans. I will say that they have actually made a smarter play than the Rangers Mirkwood player by getting rid of all those pointless elf bows that can't shoot more than 12 inches anyway. Fuck it, just don't bring them.
Yeah.
You got the throwing daggers. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Think of all those points
That's
wasted at Rangers of Mirkwood on those bows. And
That
this
is
person
the
here is
play.
like, I'd
Yeah.
rather have Sentinels, thanks. Genius.
Yeah.
And spears. Genius. Very impressive.
Yeah, this is going to do well. This will be fun.
It'll do well, but it'll be fun and it'll be good, and it will do a lot better than what it could have been. What it could have been, he says vaguely and ominously. Those of us who've seen the Lindia Lords of Battle play, big improvement, big step up. Anyway, chat has accused me of being an elf for my dislike of dwarves. I'm not sure I've ever known anyone less elfin in my life. I was a twink once, but I've never been an elf. That's for sure. That's a long bow to draw elf, I think. But thank you, I appreciate it. Next one, Minas Tirith and the White Council. We have Denethor leading 2 knights with shields, 6 Fountain Court Guard with shields, which yes, I guess will be the last outing for shielded Fountain Courts. That's a sad state of affairs. Madril leading 4 Rangers of Gondor with spears.
There they are.
That's where they should be. And Saruman the White on a horse for 400 points, 15 models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of magic in there. Fun.
Yeah.
Magic's fun. I think we've seen a Witch King and now this. That's the only magic, isn't it? Is that right? Basically.
So.
Apart from a circuit or something.
Yeah.
It's a niche. It's a niche alliance, must be said, but a cool one. You don't see it very often, but Denethor allows for all such wizardry and tricks. I think there are scenarios where you will be missing possibly the +1 Minas Tirith courage of this yellow alliance, but
Doesn't Saruman have Aura of Command though?
does the white one have it? Maybe he does actually. Yeah.
I think he's got Aura of Command. So
Yeah.
you
Okay.
can,
No, fair play.
you don't care about that because
That's
I
fair.
mean you might, but yeah, you can. You just
No, legit.
cast that on
And in
yourself.
fairness, actually, what do you've got? Fountain Courts anyway. You've got full courage, 4 rangers. So actually, who cares? I'm talking about really.
Yeah, I mean I didn't care.
It is cool. It is good fun. I do like it actually. It is cool. It's a it's nice to see the Fountain Courts coming out with a different hero leading them and a different sort of support piece in Saruman. I want to say, just as we congratulated the last player on raising significantly the quality of his list and bringing something sensible, I want to congratulate this player on kicking the habit and the addiction to the bolt throwers. I want to say congratulations on the rehab has worked. You've come out a new person, a new man. You have sworn off the bolt throwers forever. Hopefully they'll go on the new edition and they'll GW save you from yourself, but I think it's very unlikely. They'll be back, those fucking things. It is a cool fun list. I think that Saruman drop in the little things is going to cause a lot of the players we've seen a lot of headache. Frankly.
Yeah. Yeah. Very unexpected.
And if you
So, does Denethor need to be the leader in this list?
He has to
That's
be.
his
Saruman
rules,
still
yeah,
leader?
he has to be. Which is
Yeah.
I guess it's not bad. I mean,
That'll be fun.
compared to Saruman the White, he's not. Normally it's a hassle to Denethor's leader, but as opposed to Saruman, who was going to be doing precisely what as a leader, he's slightly harder to kill, but at least he's no contest champions, I guess. But yeah, interesting one. I really like the Saruman tech. Although if I was sitting here, the much maligned player we saw at the start, who had brought Glorfindel and Isildur and things on foot, has been biding his time, waiting for a magic list to come out so they can finally shine. And now, finally, the Sarumans arrived and they can say,
There it is.
Vindication! So, that matchup for Saruman's just going to be sitting on his old hands. Right, next up.
Some filthy dwarves. God, who's
Another
the
dwarf list.
Who would usually brings dwarves to this?
Just for you, Sam.
Dabs.
We're up to one of them this time, all with heavy armor, I imagine. So we've got Army of
yeah,
Thrall,
boy.
21 models. We've got leading by Thrall, 11 Grim Hammers with their Guardians of the King. Then we've got a Grim Hammer Captain, 6 Warriors of Erebor with Shield and Spear, and 2 Warriors of Erebor just for the shield. 21 models total, 0 bows, whole load of 5-inch movement, 4 inches in the desert.
11 throwing axes, 12 throwing axes, sorry.
Axes, yeah.
Not to be sneezed at these beautiful short range engagements. Yeah, the 4 inches in the desert, it sucks. But I've spent a lot of time being like, do I go 18 models with a Thorin or 21 models with a Grimhammer Captain? I spent a lot of time going back and forth between those two. And let me tell you, if I go on the desert board, I'm going to be saying, thank you, Grimhammer Captain. You have saved the day. Oh, dear.
Quite a
Yeah,
lot
those
of
Grim
these,
Hammers
well,
do. Brady's played this against me a lot, and they do a lot of damage. Yeah,
Lot of
they,
damage.
they do not go down easy.
Give 'em a
And against the
PS,
neutral
two-hand.
forces as well.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
with the banner and those Grimhammers, I think neutrals are going to get
Throwing
get
daggers,
moved
yeah.
out of the way. Yeah, true, the throwing axis, yeah.
really
Yes,
hard to
yes.
kill Thor as well. He's with the Arkenstone, yeah.
So hard, yeah.
So,
Makes Durin like a little squishy boy. Yeah, he's real good. I mean, it's fun. I love my Thralls. I don't play them very often. I know I'm a dwarf bigot, but it's really Khazad that I don't like. I don't know why I don't like Khazad. I don't like Khazad, but I have a lot of time around me to Thrall, and I like it. I'd love to have some mine.
Well, I think their days are numbered without having lost the King's Champion and Lillian
100%.
Fallen. Like, there's a lot less
100%.
incentive to play them.
Yeah, that's so true. The King's Champion, it's a big lot. Although, to be fair, again, Legacy will exist for the next 5+ years. So,
Hopefully.
if you're
I mean,
still,
yeah, you're right. We don't know. We don't know yet. It's anyone who says that we know doesn't know. So
That's
we don't know.
probably if
But-
you'll be coming to NZML events in 2030 and still be seeing the King's Champion appearing. I take your point. That's true. That's one of the big advantages of the list. But, and it's sad to see it go. But
Yeah, I mean, if Legacies is a commensurate power level, I think that I've seen people saying that when they Legacy things that it's weaker, and if that's the case, then it's like, well, Kazakh can't afford that. Like they,
I don't think it's always
especially-
weak necessarily. But I do think, I mean, the fact that it's not getting updated means that by the time 5 years of development power creep happens, it will end up being weaker. That's definitely true, I think. But when it starts, I think it's meant to start as,
Then again, it's the King's Champion is probably one of the most points efficient models there is. So it
it's
probably
going to be a
I mean, it
long
wouldn't-
time before that gets power creep.
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
Absolutely.
Before it's-
Yeah,
It's gonna be a long time before that's not a good deal
Yeah.
for the 100.
so much fun. Anyway,
I mean, we'll see.
okay, this is Thrall. This is the cool dwarfs, the coolest dwarfs.
Right.
Grimhammers,
Right, yeah.
Guardians of the King,
Great.
phenomenal models. It's going to be fun to play unless someone loses it. In which case, it's going to
I didn't know you owned this army. You borrow. I mean, I thought as the dwarf bigot that you are, I thought you. I didn't even know
I
you-
do.
you
Somebody
loot your house with this sort of thing.
Somebody sold them years ago, and they were just so nicely painted that I had to buy them immediately on the trade page. They were just so handsome. So this is basically the entire collection. I've got a couple more heroes and like 4 more warriors, so I can't really go to, like higher than 500 points. But
Right.
so I'd like to bring them out at small events like this because it's the only time I can use them.
Sure. Cool. Last list.
Second to last list because we've got to go back and do the one we missed. I've got that ready.
Very true.
So Easterlings. One of you can do this one. One of you can do this one.
Sure, I don't mind doing this one. So we've
Go
got
for it.
Eastlings, we've got Brawgear, we've got 3 Eastling Warriors with Shield, 3 with Shield and Pike, 3 Black Dragons with the Shield and the Pike. So sitting at the back there, giving that higher fight value. We've got 2 Dragon Cult Acolytes, and then we've got an Eastling Warrior with Shield and Banner. We've then got a Captain who has an Armoured Horse and Sword and Bow. 4 Eastling Warriors with Bow, 2 more Dragon Cult Acolytes, and then 2 of the Black Dragon Cataphracts. And Ridge is also there, not on horse, just trotting along on foot, just to add a bit of alcohol into the mix. Yeah, love Eastlings, love to see
Yeah.
them.
That's
Brawgear
okay.
and his Tremor, very fun. Very fun. We've got a nice line of neutrals, or your opponent, you can do some real damage. I played this list.
Yeah.
I played this list last weekend with Wargs, and they went flying. with that.
Yeah, that would be really cool actually.
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
pretty
damage.
deadly. And yeah, bikes are a lot of fun when you've kind of got your fight 4 at the back there. Very nice.
Nice number of acolytes as well. 4 acolytes I think is really cool, and
Yep.
and a couple of cataphracts too for a bit of a captain on a horse for a wee bit of kick. That's listed off the next kick, but I think with 4 acolytes and 3 cav, that's some kick that's otherwise often lacks.
A lot of fun.
Easterling
It's
Warriors.
just with this Easterling list that doesn't have, the usual suspects. Like Burger, but but Burger and the Easterling captain as your heroes.
I
That's
know.
interesting.
Eastland Captain, honestly, I think this is maybe the second time in my life that I've seen someone bring one to an event. They are such a, especially these days, far out. They never see it play, so that's cool to see one popping up. And on a horse, with the bow as well. He's just going mad, this thing.
Yeah.
I
Doing that march, that'll be helpful.
Yeah, be very helpful.
Yeah.
Extra might, because Broadgear's a bit skint on that. It's still not a great. I mean, it's only a fight 4, isn't it? So it's not actually a great. You're kind of your captain at fight 4 of the list, which is a little concerning, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Certainly, I will be
True.
keen to see Eastling Warriors with bows. How often do you see an Eastling Warrior with a bow model at the table, folks? That's hen's teeth. Those things.
Not often.
No. So
Not
it'll be
often.
fun to see that try.
Great models.
Yeah, cool models. I mean, they're all cool models. It's an incredibly beautiful army. It's such a handsome army.
Very cool. And this has been the paint scheme on these ones, wonderful.
Seeing who this person
yeah.
is, you know that it's going to be looking flawless. Flawless.
Whatever you're expecting, not that.
That's what I like about it. I love the basic Eastland colour scheme, but I know Guy has his sort of silver and blue ones, which is really, really lovely. I like it. They take an alternate colour scheme really, really well, I think. So it's someone who goes.
I think he's posted some of the work in progress Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Hasn't he? Or my mistake?
These ones, you mean?
Yeah, I thought so.
Sure.
Oh, yes. Well, go back and check out the page, folks, and look for some
But I could be wrong.
spicy Wellingtonian Easterlings. Right, hang fire for me a second. I'm just going to switch to the other window. Oh, it's the wrong one. This one here, I mean. It's going to be, do we see the other? We do. Great. The other Eastlings list is now here. This is the last one that I'd forgotten before. Apologies to this player for the updated list. So, what was it? Brady's turn now? Who was the other one was? Brady?
I'm sorry?
Take us home with this list, this last one. This
Oh,
replacement.
sure, absolutely.
This is a different
Okay.
list. Sorry, have you got it in
Yeah,
front
so
of
I've got it in front of me. So it's another Easterling list with 20 models, led by Rutabi, 4 Dragon Cult Acolytes, 4 Easterling Warriors with Pike and Shield, 2 Easterling Warriors with Bow, 1 Easterling Warrior with Banner, Pike, and Shield, and 1 Cataphract with the Black Dragon upgrade. Then the Burger is the second warband with 2 Dragon Cult Acolytes, another Easterling Warrior with Bow, 1 Cataphract with the Black Dragon, and then 2 more Easterling Warriors with Pike and Shield. So, like I say, 20 models, 3 bows, 5 might, and another Burger, and a couple more Eastling Bowmen.
And importantly, if you're following along at home and thinking, gosh, this feels like it's got a lot more kick to it than the last one did, that's because instead of Ridge Dicebearer on foot, we have Rutabi, which is a little in terms of the scales, it just sort of adjusts somewhat the balance of power there.
More acolytes, love that.
Yeah,
Few
true.
more.
Yeah.
Squeeze
How many
more in there.
acolytes is there? Yes, and that's straight.
That's
6 is a lot. 6 is a lot of
6 and-
acolytes. Is
Yeah.
there? And I also like the fact that you've got the basic Eastlings are all pike as well. Like you haven't got the acolytes are in front, the pikes are behind them, but the acolytes are the ones standing in front of it. You don't have a sort of a mix. The front line is all acolytes, which I really like as well. It's a super efficient way of structuring it. If you like that, acolyte front line thing, you go a whole hog, I reckon.
Is there only D3, D4?
And I think it's D3. It's not completely
I don't
unarmed.
think
is
they're
that
gonna
right?
harm
Yeah.
me.
But they do kick, and beautifully, again, this event shooting minimal least range, less effective. You might just find yourself getting into combat a little more often than you might otherwise do.
And they also have that fun rule
Those
for
are
climb
fun
testing thing, so they can get through.
Yep.
I've definitely been caught out by that before.
That's right.
Like, oh, great, I forgot they do. I can't remember how it's phrased, but they definitely are a bit more mobile with terrain,
Agile.
and I guess
Yeah.
in a terrain-based event, that's probably a good call.
Yeah, true. Little extra niche. Like if that rule comes to effect more than once in the event, I'd be surprised. I think it's very niche. But no, you're right. Though. I mean, this is
Yes, someone.
Yep.
it'd be nice to actually have it.
They've got the rule about not being knocked over as easily, right? Is it the 4 up and they
Oh,
don't
yeah,
get
that's
knocked
right.
over? So, Bridge of Hazard
Yeah,
Boon,
that's true.
everybody's on their ass and you're still standing.
That's actually legit. That's actually really cool. Yeah, unyielding combat stance. Isn't that the one? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep,
Yeah.
I think that's the one on a 4 up.
I That would be super cool. All of a sudden, you got these, 3 or 4 of these 4-attack, these 2-attack models going for it, and
run in, snatch that prize.
guys on the ground, going at them, double strikes. That's fun.
That would be great.
That's cool. That's cool.
That would be great.
And you got these guys in the front, pike wall behind them. That's scary on a bridge. That is scary on that bridge. Brogier in the middle. Whoa, Brogier starting retire. Yeah,
right.
It is fun. It is cool. And the Eastling bow models again that get to show up.
Yeah,
but these probably won't be as fancy as the other ones.
We'll see.
No comment.
Hard to compete with that first ones.
Yep, very true. I tried to convince this person to sneak just one Wardrake in here. What is an Easterling list without a Wardrake? But they wisely did not follow my advice.
Isn't going to Legacy despite not being a model for it, but I digress.
Oh, who could do such?
Anyway, I switched back to the main thing. Thank you to that last list. That is it. That is the end. That is everything. I think it was about an hour and a half, less than an hour and a half, which is pretty good for 7 tables and then 14 lists.
Yeah.
So
hats
off to the two of you for cracking through and soldiering on this portentous night.
It'll be great fun. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing all the armies. Looking forward to seeing how people deal with some of the challenges of the boards.
Yeah.
As we said, we've play tested them a lot, so we know it's not too punitive, right? There's a really nice balance. I think even more so than when we last did it. So stuff's moving around, stuff's attacking you. It's there. You need to pay attention to it, but it's not the whole game. You're still playing a game with your opponent.
I definitely came in last year being trusting you guys, but also I've been to these kind of events before, and house rules can often be a really hit and miss kind of thing. But I came out being 100% great work, and you've only refined it since then. So and all the changes you've suggested, some of them we discussed afterwards, they're all you've gone from good to great. So I'm really excited for it. I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah, so much fun. One of the funnest events to put together. Just all the play testing we've gotten to do with this, great fun.
Very cool, very cool. Well, I hope you keep doing it as well. It's be a shame if we all just fill it out. It's gonna be really cool. Thanks to you both for putting this great event together and for joining me today to look at these crazy lists. And well, actually, they're crazy really. The boards are definitely crazy.
It's definitely where the crazy is coming from.
Yes, definitely. The people are normal, but the TOs are crazy. Brady, I hope this has given you an hour and a half's respite from chewing your fingernails nervously and pacing around the house. Refreshing.
I think he's frozen in fear at this point in time.
He's frozen. He's that terrified. Well, Brady's clearly gone back to it. He's clearly got Twitter, refreshing polls or something.
Better things to do.
He's got better things to do. He's got the end of the world to watch. Thank you, James, for joining me.
Well, on behalf of Brady and I, thank you for having us, and very much looking forward to seeing people on the weekend.
Thank you, chat, as well, for joining us. God bless. We'll see you in a few days' time.